Mental Health Monday.
Mental Health Monday.
More, not more at all. I don't have that person. I just kind of talk in my head.
Your head's gonna talk back.
I think in terms of self-care physically, I have a pretty decent routine because I put it into practice to like stretch more and like always get massages because like
Professional massages or
Yes.
magic massages?
both.
Okay.
But professional massages, I have that in my schedule, in my budget. Like I need to get massages because I be in pain. After shooting along, like I'm actually past due for a massage since after Broccoli City because my back hurts. So like I'm about to get it this weekend.
Okay, you
Yes.
schedule that. That's
Yes,
crazy.
it's very important to me. Like I always advocate for that because you just feel better after.
Yeah.
But then like I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do for self-care. But I feel like I need some more.
So you don't have a compass on what self-care looks like right now.
I mean, I don't think so. I think I think I have ideas. I just haven't put them into practice.
You have a lot of great ideas. So like I'll give you credit there before we go. But so the reason I asked this question is I had to talk about vulnerability in the first vulnerable circle we did for men. And I told the men in the room, I'm not going to give you any tools. I just want to see how everyone defines vulnerability because chances are vulnerability is usually a reflection of what you're looking for that you haven't received in life, but what was taken away from you, what you're trying to recreate. So when it comes to self-care, in our culture, and I don't know if this is an effect of like corporate America and all this other stuff, but our culture, our current culture defines self-care as what are you doing to get back good enough to get to the office? And to me, that's not good self-care. What that means is you're measuring your self-care off of whether I'm still useful to other people. You're not measuring self-care based off of, I like this, I enjoy this, and setting the boundaries for this makes me a happier person. And because I'm a happier person, I'm able to do all these other things. So you're technically putting the cart in front of the horse. So usually I tell folks, if you create a self-care routine, if you have the time to, which is really important because like time is a privilege, depending on how much money you have coming in or what your situation is, or kids. Right? I usually tell them if you're able to do it once or twice a week, you give it an hour or two. Like let's say you have like a whole facial routine that you do, yoga, a facial routine, tea, you turn the phone off and you think about the things that are hard. You make time for the things that are hard, or you make time for the things that are easy, but you've had that time. And because you're taking care of those in-house things, that self-care means when people call on you to do stuff, you're able to say, no, I don't have time for that. Or you're able to say, actually, yes, I have time for that, but I'm only available from here to here because after that, I have to go.
Right.
So I know for me, self-care is like sometimes I'm just unavailable. But if my friends hit me up, I will give you a whole great explanation as to why I'm not available. But if you hit me up next week or keep me in mind next week, I'll do the best that I can to make time for you. That's a promise.
Right.
And that's what self-care looks like. Self-care is doing what you need to do for yourself because like if you don't do it for yourself, who else is going to do it for you?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
That makes sense.
So like, I think it's okay to not have a good routine, but it usually starts with what do you like? Why do you like that? And what are other things that are reflective of that? And do you have anyone you could do it with, or would you prefer to do it by yourself?
Yeah. Okay. Well, then maybe I do have, I don't know. I feel like when I think of the term self-care, it gives like,
It's been monopolized.
yeah.
It's
So
been
maybe
monopolized.
that's like, I do have a facial hair routine that I really like doing. And I was just talking about my skin yesterday. Like, it was feeling
Do you see how your
really
pitch
nice.
is getting high and you feel your energy going up and you get excited for that?
Yes.
That's what self-care is supposed to do for you. It's I really enjoy doing this thing because it brings me joy.
Yeah.
Self-care is now starting to be framed as well, we got you the therapist, so that's self-care. No, that's
Right.
therapy.
Right.
Therapy
Okay.
is hard. Or sometimes therapy is enjoyable because it's helping you go through a thing. That's why people view yoga as therapy when that's therapeutic, which therapeutic is the process of. Therapy is when you're actually like in the moment trying to find what is the thing to get me better, and then you figure out the therapeutic way to get there.
Got you. Yeah. Well, like things like that. I really like going to the pool now. I'm discovering that like the water is just like very peaceful for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I'm covering a bit more. But I think one thing I want to put into practice more is like turning the phone off and putting the phone down, because I think I'm very always like in the mix, not just like physically, but also like when I'm just chilling. And I think that's something that's going to be hard for me to put into practice, but I need it. Like I need to just like sit and be with me.
Do you feel guilty when you see missed calls?
It depends on the person. But I think I do always make sure that I call these people back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to learn to feel less guilty for missing a call. I was like, man, oh, I missed this. Oh, I missed that. Oh, God, I should have been there.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
There's a reason you missed the call. You ain't have it.
Right.
Just hit them
it.
up. Yo, my bad, I missed it.
Yeah.
Move on. Like,
Right.
because there's certain points in your life where feeling guilty, who has that ever done anything for?
Right.
Or especially if it's like you're dragging out the guilt. And
Exactly.
guilt doesn't like to be milked. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I'd say. And I think another thing when it comes to self-care is like, self-care is the practice of putting you first. And sometimes self-care is reorganizing your priorities and understanding what's actually important to you. Your job's important because it makes money and it pays rent, but most people's jobs don't love them back or appreciate who they are. So your job technically shouldn't be related to your self-care.
I see that.
Your self-care is about like, if you're an oatmeal person, why do you like oatmeal? What memories that connected to? Okay. And I actually had a really sad moment with the person that I sat down with, where like I was giving them advice on what they need to do for themselves. And I was like, damn, man, you, this list is kind of nice. I was like, I don't know if half this list is in your life right now because you've been so busy working.
Right.
And it's like, all right, with a lot of the outreach you've been doing, you may need to sit back for me and reassess, hey, man, are you giving people great advice and not treating yourself the way you deserve? And I'm like, ooh. So it's like, you know, even in doing this work, don't get it twisted. You could easily become the person that you're helping.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah.
I think that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.